Zanzibar. That's a good one, Wayne, I'll tell you. The only boats I ever built.
Oh yeah, you found a picture of the cobbles.
The cobbles.
Right. That's when you worked for Farkey.
Yeah.
Cobbles and coffins.
That I think that was a fly fishing cobble. That, you know, we'd make some for the River Tay for fly fishing. You know?
Right.
And then the other ones, when I started there, were rowing boats, for, you know, laying the net in the river.
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah.
You went to Florida for water skiing. How did you end up?
Well, I done that twice. I went to Vancouver the first time, and then I came back to Loch Earn Head and I got a job for the season there. And I says to Ewan Cameron, I think you could get me a place that's sunny, you know. And he says, I'll get back with you. So he got me a place in Osherias, Jamaica, teach me water skiing, and then Howie and Duncan had to come along. But so we got to Jamaica, and somebody turned us into the immigration. So we had to leave. So we went up to Montego Bay and got a flight to Freeport. That place was just booming at that time, you know. People from all over the world there. Sure, it's lucky I had all these pictures.
Yeah, you really. I mean, some of those I don't know. Did you have them taken with your camera, or it's people have given them to you? And some of them.
No, I had just bought a brand new Pentax, and I had it still. Can I have a wee bit more of that whiskey, Wayne?
Sure.
Just a wee.
A whole bottle there.
A wee Doc and Doris.
Right. Well, the more you drink, the looser your tongue gets.
Oh, that's how you brought it. Here's another thing, Wayne. And I wasn't pissed off about it. When I got there, I was making $2.25 an hour. And Charlie Tuttle and Victor, they were making $6 an hour. And I didn't know that till afterwards, but I never said that. I just had so much fun, but
yeah, right, doing it.
To build it.
And then,
yeah, little memories there, I'll tell you. My first job was putting in these longitudinal stringers there.
So they already had the plywood bulkheads.
They were all set in there.
Right. And that was a real good thing.
Charlie Tuttle was laminating up the stem.
Here the stringers aren't all the way in.
Yeah.
And
I'll tell you a story about them. There was a family for the Exumas. I think it was old man Nelson, and there was two sons. They were putting them in. That was after I was there. And they were drawn up there. And the old man was hold this great big drill, and caught. He was just spun in the poor bastard. Yeah, that. I know. Hats off to Alan Gurney. He knew what the hell he was doing.
Yeah. So yeah, he designed the boat to be built like this.
Yeah.
Didn't have any reverse shapes or anything, and yeah, that was a smart way to build it, because the bulkheads, you built the boat on the bulkheads.
Yeah.
That was the stations. Yeah, right. So you used everything.
The hell, see how strong that was there.
Yeah.
Even for the planking.
Well, it's held up over all these years.
Oh shit. But boy, that sick spruce was great to work with, you know.
Well, I think, I think Bob Johnson got aircraft grade Sitka spruce.
I know that especially.
Yeah. Because there's three different grades. There's the standard B and better, and then there's mast and spar grade. And then there's aircraft grade, and aircraft grade is the old growth fine stuff.
And no knots or anything.
No knots.
Nothing.
Now, did you screw these on, or were they all ring shank nails?
No, everything was anchor fast. Bernard, he was a good kid, I'll tell you. He and I planked that sided boat faster than Charlie Tuttle and Victor. I mean, no, we weren't racing, we just
Right.
knew what to do. And I'd pass the plank, I'd scribe it and pass the plank down to Bernard, and Bernard would put it through the saw and get a little bit here, there. Bang it on there. I think we done about 13 or 14 a day, you know.
And then you mix the glue in small batches and put it on there and nail the plank on, and then do the next one, the next one, the next one. And you needed to be fast because the glue would go off.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, right.
Especially there with the heat.
So it was all epoxy, right?
Two-part, there was a brown
Right.
consistency, and then there was a creamy consistency. You just mixed them up together. Rex glued Bill Hugh Boyer to the bench.
Can't be sitting around.
You would have loved it there, Wayne, I'll tell you.
Oh yeah.
Then the tent blew away. There was a picture of me with
Yeah, that's on
a knife in my... Yeah.
the. So the hurricane came through there, right?
Yeah. Shit, I was lucky to get all these shots, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, because the pictures show a lot. They tell a lot.
Oh, that was another thing. This might have been the same day, but we had a whiskey plank.
And with you, they should have been 3 whiskey planks.
And anyway, they set all the anchor fast, you know.
Now, did you pre-drill them, or you just drove them in? It was all softwood, yeah.
Yeah, we just drove them in.
Yeah.
But Johnson bent every nail.
Well, yeah, he's not. There you are. No grinders back in those days.
Yeah.
Hand planes. It looks like did you put a primer on there, and white primer?
I don't know what that white stuff was. Oh, maybe it is, but
Just a light coat of white wash primer, and then the blue would show up.
yeah.
And yeah, you could just tick the highs. Yeah, and there again, using good lumber like that, it makes it a lot easier to ferret with a plane. So you put the last layer, you put the anchor fast nails in and then set them?
Yeah, I think so, yeah. Well,
Yeah.
we had to, because we...
Right.
But it wasn't much fairing in it either, Wayne, but yeah.
Right. Yeah, because that building technique, it made it pretty fair. So in this picture, you've built that
Half
plywood,
wheel,
the half wheel to
Yeah.
roll the boat over.
That was a clever... Whoever thought that up, that was pretty clever. That. And then it was flat on the bottom, so it just...
Roll over and land there.
Yeah. That was a good system. There, you could see the Dynel on there now.
Okay, so the Dynel was clear. So you've put the Dynel on already.
Yeah. You could see it there.
Yeah.
Harry, that's Jackson. He was from Jamaica. That Harry Roker was. He and I got on like that.
There, you don't look much different. You just need the mustache.
I wonder what that is here. It looks like
Oh, it's a stain on the photograph.
oh,
And I couldn't really do it.
Stewicki. Do you know? Heard of Stewicki? He was a builder and went there. He sailed with Johnson and he built all that stuff.
The hurricane couldn't,
Yeah.
because you needed something
Yeah.
when you got to this stage of the game.
Oh, that's a good one. That
Yeah. So how often did Bob Johnson come out to?
just about every day.
Oh, so he stayed right
that
there.
was his car. We had a little Austin and Morris 1100. Yeah, that canvas with the 2x4s on it, that was dangerous. How thick would that plywood be there when you, ½ inch or 3/4?
You were there.
I can't remember. Well, it could have been ½ inch, yeah.
Yeah, it looks pretty light. Was it 2 layers or just 1?
2 layers.
Oh, 2 layers. So it probably was ½ inch in
Yeah.
that. Those are the pictures of it. Yeah, because it looks like another layer's going on there.
Yeah.
So, and then that was dinelled also, or glassed?
Dinelled.
Dinelled. Because the dinell's lighter than the glass.
I came up with the idea that, you know, they were just going to butt the deck like that, and I said, why don't we like put like a 5-inch scarf on it, you know?
You got to.
Yeah.
It makes all the difference. Whenever I work with plywood now, I always scarf the joints. If you don't, you'll never keep it tight.
Never keep it
You'll
tight.
never keep it tight. Yeah, that's the interior. Now, did you guys do the formicating and
Yeah.
all the
I used to
interior
write my
stuff?
name on the plywood first and then slap them. But well, that was
So if we
simple,
peel off-
it was comfortable, you know?
Right.
And if it was rough weather,
Well, and it was the
You-
way to go. You didn't have to paint it.
no.
God,
And you
didn't all
just
the paint.
lifted that up and put it in the next. No,
Right when the boat was heeled
Yeah.
over. Yeah. Oh, and this is the good one.
This is the keel.
Yeah, right.
What a piece of shit. I don't know who thought that up, but it probably was another Johnson. He could have fed I forget how much of it, he could have fed that. It was 16 ton, that keel.
Right.
He could have fed that on the dock in Freeport for, I forget how much it was, but you could see what they went through to build that. I mean,
So he shipped the lead ingots, or
they had these 45-gallon drums, which was a fucking joke.
so this was limestone that you had to dig through, or
Yeah,
it's just sand.
that's coral or whatever it is, all that.
Yeah. Whatever the islands are made out of.
Yeah. That's it there. Oh yeah, the Johnson bought about 4 chainsaws and they went out to this wood there and they cut the whole forest or whatever it
The
was.
national park now.
And when these cans got heated up, they just, 55-gallon drums, they just buckled with the weight.
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah.
Well, they would soften from the heat and then the weight.
And then
Looks like you had some work to do when that came out of them.
oh, shit. they bought another 2 skill planes who was taking off that much or more than that on one side, you know.
So you must have stuck some kind of bolts or something in, because there's lifting
Yeah.
eyes there, but they don't look like keel bolts.
No, they weren't in at that time. We got to the boat to another place, yeah, that's it, moving there. And we drilled, Victor and I were inside. I'll give you that.
So you drilled the bolts after the bolts
Yeah.
set on the keel.
The deadwood was on there, lead was all lined up in there. And there was a 2-inch metal drill bit we used. And somebody told Chappie, dip it in
Dolphinite.
dolphinite.
Yeah, I remember you always told me that trick.
Yeah.
And I used it the day before yesterday. And it's the only thing that we found, because the cutting rails are too fine. They just go away.
Yeah.
And the dolphinite hangs in there. So Chappie's the one that had that.
Yeah, somebody told him, but I don't know who it was. But
So this is the harbor they're dredging.
yeah,
They're dredging out.
yeah. And that's when they were using explosive, and fire in the hole.
So they blow pieces up and then probably with a shovel or
Well, they had. The tracks on some of these things were about the height of me,
for the
caterpillar or whatever they were, the cranes,
Yeah. So it
big,
was kind of
big buckets about the size.
kind of a good deal because they were doing that. You had access to the equipment.
Yeah. You rent out the guys and the equipment, yeah.
So Bob did that, huh?
Yeah. I'm not a sailor,
Right.
that, but boy, that's a pretty looking boat, that.
Oh yeah.
See, this was a laugh. Johnson didn't want any teak on the boat, So we were building this thing here, and I would, these were lockers there, but I guess he just wanted plywood or something. So I forget
He
who
was quite the cheapskate, yeah.
Oh yeah. Johnson, you mean?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So he
Quite thrifty.
Chappie said, when Johnson comes out here, cover that stuff.
So it was kind of Chappie's idea to put some teak on the boat.
Yeah, but that really helped the look out, I think,
Yeah, right. It's a wood boat. You need a little wood to look at. Yeah.
Rumsey, Bob Haynes, Garbanzo Bean.
That's Garbani there.
Yeah.
Sure guy.
He
So those guys kind of came on after the boat was built.
Well, Peter done a bunch of the reggae, and
Right.
these other guys were like, all these guys, when we went for that first race, it was from Miami to West Palm Beach. Yeah, all these guys laughed at the boat, picking over it. An hour later, they were behind us.
You're right. They were just a speck on the horizon, huh?
Oh, I've got my Lochern t-shirt on there.
Oh yeah, from water skiing on Lochern.
Yeah.
Basically, it's a big giant fin keeler with a spade rudder.
Everybody laughed because it was so wide and everything like that. But if you could keep it up like that rather than like that.
Right. And it would plane.
Oh yeah.
One of the first boats that would plane.
I wish that I've got that picture. They had a picture of Rumsey skiing behind it.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
I think I've seen that picture, but.
And it was taken up in LA Harbour when they were racing against Kialoa. So they had gone over the line, the finish line, and they got a pair of skis, and Don Vaughan lowered Rumsey in the water, and they went skiing by fucking Kialoa. Oh, he pissed. I wasn't there.
Oh, Kilroy.
Yeah. Kilroy. Was he pissed? A lot of these people were jealous too, I'll tell you.
Well, yeah, right. It was well designed. The building technique was well thought out, and it was a big advancement in wooden boat building.
This was. Has this been filmed just now?
Yeah.
Hope I'm not swearing too much.
Doesn't matter. I can edit anything.
Oh.
So yeah, tell us a little bit about Chappie.
He was a character.
He was there when you got there, right?
Well, he was running it.
He was running the whole show.
Yeah. He had done a boat with Johnson before. I think it was a smaller one, like one of these ones that you were working on.
Oh, okay. One of the Lapworth designs, or
Yeah.
Because they built a bunch of Lapworth designs, the Lapworth 32s and 36s, and right up the road. Yeah, because Walter Poston said that Chappie was kind of an alcoholic.
Oh, kind of.
Yeah, every picture we have of him, he's got a beer or a...
There was another episode that was Rex Bank and Rex couldn't have put two matches together. You know? But I'm not being
demeaning, but
yeah.
that was it. Yeah, Rex is, and it's funny how you had a crew. There was boat builders that could build the boat and sailors that could sail.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Well,
Rex was a sailor that could sail, but he wasn't a boat builder. It's like the story you told me of him mixing the epoxy in it, and then leaving it there and it catching fire.
Oh yeah. Both of them worked the grill and in the chart house, big grill, and they had a special thing for doing the lobsters, and anyway, they'd have these aprons on, and when they turned around, there was nothing at the back.
That's all they had on was the apron.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think the health department would go for that today. So this was the only boat he designed, or he designed other boats?
Oh yeah, he designed, and same construction too.
So it sounds like Bob Johnson kind of sussed him out because he was
on
the cutting edge of building this type of design.
Oh, they all laughed. Nah, he's a Englishman. What do they know about building fucking boats? and then Kilroy comes along and spends in millions.
Kealoas, the different Kealoas.
Yeah.
Trying to beat Passage. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's always been the aura about Windward Passage. It was just, it's just a bunch of guys having fun.
Well, Johnson called it his backyard boat. Yeah. And he says, if I could build a house big enough, I'd put the Windward Passage on the mantelpiece.
It was kind of neat though, because, from all accounts, Bob Johnson got seasick a lot. But he loved the ocean and he loved to navigate. He owned Big Tide Ticonderoga.
Every time you saw him, he was standing in the steps in that companionway, looking out the back of the boat.
Thank you very much, Tosh. Your legacy will live on through the great work you've done, through the friends you've made, and through the Maritime Preservation Trust. These videos are made possible through efforts of the Maritime Preservation Trust. Please don't forget to subscribe, share with your friends, visit our website, and become a member of the Maritime Preservation Trust. There are also more great videos available on our OTT Vimeo channel, MPT TV.